like, if you're in crypto and you really want to make something, you want to leave it in your wallet that you can't never do nothing to it with it? No, you want to set it up right. Pay your taxes. Think big. Win big. Think bigger. You're going to make so much money, you'll be glad to pay the tax. Because guess what? Then you have no red flags. You get to take that 1 million, 7 million, 35, 60 million dollars and transfer it, wire transfer to your banking account. And you get to go buy real estate. You get to go live that dream life you want to pay your taxes. The other question was, and I get this question all the time, and I'm not a tax guy, but I do help people start small businesses. If you're an LLC or S corp or anything, and you're trying to figure out what you should do, like, don't think of it as like what can I pay to get out of paying the less tax. Just pay yourself what is fair. What is the fair market value? And let's just say you've got an S corp, and let's just say you're the head of a painting company and it's got 35 employees. You might make $2 million a year. But guess what? Can you go and say, you know what? I don't want to run this business anymore, but I can go hire somebody for 80 grand a year that has just as much knowledge as I do, and I can pay that person 80 grand. Then you pay yourself the 80 grand and you pay the tax on that. And then you take your dividends or whatever that tax structure you have set up. And I say this not as that I'm pro government or pro tax or pro anything, but honestly, over time, because I've done it both ways, but over time, when I really look at taxes as a luxury problem, like, it's a luxury. The guy that needs to pay $1 million in tax or $400,000 in tax, you got to remember he made, like, even if he's had there's deductions, there's this, get all them you can. And, you have to remember, like, yeah, you're going to think people pay the 4% tax rate, but the fact of the matter is if you're owing $250,000 in tax, you probably made $1 million or more. So look at it as a luxury problem, because when you look at it the other way, it's almost like setting up a MetaMask wallet, never saving your private keys, sending 2 or 3 ETH over there, degenning, holding some crypto, and waking up and realize, oh, I've got $600,000 worth of cash in that wallet, but guess what? You can never access it no more because you didn't treat it really as you were setting up the wallet. Even though you were moving 1,000 or 4,000 in it, you didn't set it up like that could be a $6 million wallet or a $3 million wallet. You didn't write your private keys down. You didn't copy it 3 or 4 times. You didn't take it to 3 or 4 safety deposit boxes. You didn't, you just left them on your desk, or you just never wrote them down, or you misplaced them. But when you set yourself up as the end goal is to be the winner, it's like I've heard this from 2 different people, and at one of them, he was a very famous comedian, and I did it, and it works. You know what? Let's say you don't have a lot right now. Set a goal. Go get it. I have checkbooks because I got a business. Maybe most people don't. If you don't have a checkbook, write it down on a piece of paper. Or if you got a checkbook, write yourself a check for $1 million, man. Date that sumbitch 5 years from now, 4 years from now, and work to it. And guess what? People do that shit and cash that check.
My first one bounced. Had to add that. I don't know.
Well, I'm just giving I just want, and the gentleman with the tax guy, like, he's saying the same thing, he's not trying to give any advice on like how to like cheat taxes or skirt. Now listen, that's the thing.
He doesn't
Use
want you
the
to cheat
tax law
taxes.
to your advantage. Yeah,
I doubt he thinks taxes are bad. Obviously,
Guys,
we're not country without taxes.
To your advantage.
Guys,
use it to your advantage.
In an ideal world, then of course none of us would have to pay. But for so long as we're living in a framework where you need to pay or where you can get in trouble for not paying, then I want to help people maximize the keeping what they earn and give them good advice along the way. And of course, none of this is personalized legal, tax, or financial advice. Forgive me, easy. I don't want to hard chill, but you can of course come find me if you do want personalized advice.
You're more than welcome to do that. And before you left on the last space, I want to say I've I've followed you. Let's correspond. Let's have a space. Let's have it on the header, and let you
Yeah, I
come
think we
up
should
and
have a
speak for
planned.
like 2 hours. Let's just do a
Yeah,
space, and you're more than welcome. Sometimes I get 200 people in here, and you're more than welcome
yeah, I
because
think
you
if you
know
did a
what?
planned thing, you'd have
Yeah,
a lot
everybody in
more
the
success.
audience. I bet you 99% of the people in the audience will appreciate it, and that's what I really want to offer to people. And you're the man to help me do it, and I appreciate it if you're willing to do that. And shield your and every 20-30 minutes, tell them to go to your profile, follow you, like you, send you a DM if they got more questions, and yeah, it's a win-win for both of us, my friend.
Yeah, I want to
Well,
comment on the Lambo thing real quick though. So, like, and I have this feeling that somebody in here is gonna do well enough because, in my opinion, a bull market coming. Somebody's gonna do well enough to where they're gonna be looking at their portfolio and they're gonna be like, I can buy a Lambo, but they're living in a trailer park, and that just like mind blowing to me. But somebody's gonna do it. So if you have that little of self control, at least think about something. So there's a group of guys on YouTube that wanted nice cars, so they made a business around having the nice cars. And the cars became a write off. I don't know how much of a write off it was or how that works, but next thing you
JW
know,
Garage, right? JW Garage,
there's
whatever.
probably a couple of them.
Oh,
But
okay, yeah.
like I know a guy who he wanted jet skis, but he didn't want to pay. Well, I think he did too because he was married, so he didn't want to pay 20 whatever $1,000 for the two. It's probably more than that. It's probably 20 grand a piece. So he decided he was going to build a jet ski business, renting jet skis out. So he didn't actually pay the money. It became a write off, and then his jet ski business blew up actually because he had good prices and he had a good business model. So you never know. Then you can just hire some kid to run it for you. You don't have to leave your screen. You can still stare at charts all day. That was it. Kind of a weird way to end it, but yeah, there's a lot of ways you could do things, and the things that you want and you so desire in life could also become a tax write-off. If you're so passionate about it, you have to have it. You'd probably also be passionate about having that in your business model, which means you'd probably do pretty good in that area. So
bro, that's a great point. I mean, if you want a private jet and you feel like starting like a NetJets competitor, then you fly for free, and every time you fly is a write-off.
right, yeah. So you're thinking real big. I like your mind. I wasn't even going there. I was talking about jet skis. You're talking about private jets, but it probably applies to the private jet. I don't know how you'd have maybe an airport. I'm
Oh,
not sure how you do that, but
oh, I know it does. I have a
yeah,
buddy.
that's awesome.
I have a buddy who was in the military, and when he got out, he worked for a military contractor that did flight logistics. And then that company moved into luxury private air travel. And he flies all over the country on a Learjet whenever he wants. And usually it's like a lot of the time it's work related, it's legitimately work related. But other times it's just like, hey, we've got a flight that has to go to Las Vegas to pick up people that are going back to New York. So if you want a free trip to Las Vegas, hop on this flight. And that's 100% written off, all of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of power that comes with being the guy that pays the person that makes the flight plans. Just say it.